Okay, so today we're going to recap algebraic indices, and I'm hoping you can remember the rules, but I'm going to talk you through them anyway. So, here we've got x to the 4 times x cubed. Now, hopefully you remember that when you times two things, you add the powers. That's the first rule. Okay, so when you multiply, you add the powers. But I'm just going to show you why it works. If we think about x to the 4, that is x times itself 4 times. X times x times x times x. X cubed is x times x times x. Okay, and if we are multiplying them, we are multiplying them together. So x times x times x times x times x times x times x. How many x's have we got? We have got 7 x's. X to the 7. Okay, this means that when we are multiplying, we add the powers. Hopefully you can remember that. That is a key point. Okay, add the powers or the indices. They are synonymous. I'm going to use them interchange which one I use, indice or powers. Okay, let's look at number 2. X to the 6 means x times x times x times x times x times x. And we are dividing it by x squared, which is x times x. If you divide something by itself, it's 1. So that's going to cancel with that. That's going to cancel with that. And what are we left with? We are left with x to the power of 4. What could we do to these indices? We could subtract them. So when you are dividing, you subtract the powers. Okay, right, this next one's going to be a long one. So, x to the 5, all cubed. Let's think about what x to the 5 means. X to the 5 means x times x times x times x times x. And it's doing that. That is being times by itself 3 times. So we've got, that's one of them. I've then got to times it by itself again. That's another one. And then I've got to times it by itself again. That's another one. That's cubed. That's itself times itself times itself. How many x's have we got? Hopefully, we've got 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. What do we do with our powers? We multiply them. So when in brackets, we multiply our powers. Okay, these rules are essential. You need to learn them. They need to be ingrained in your brains. Okay, right, here we go then. When are we going to use this? So we've got 4x cubed times 5x to the 9. The 4 and the 5 are being times. 4 times 5. Let's multiply those first. So we'll do our numbers first. 4 times 5 is 20. We've got x cubed times x to the 9. When we multiply, we add our powers, so that is x to the 12. 20, x to the 12. Okay? The reason we can do this in any order is because that means 4 times x cubed times 5 times x to the 9. Don't forget 4x cubed means 4 times x cubed. 5x to the 9 means 5 times x to the 9. And it doesn't matter what order we multiply things in. 2 times 3, 6. 3 times 2, 6. Doesn't matter which way around we do it. Okay, that's why it works. Okay, so then we've got number 2. Do your numbers, your x's, your y's, your z's. Okay, so 12 times 4, 48. X to the 7 times x to the 8 is x to the 15. Y to the 6 times y to the 9 is y to the 15. Z on its own times z cubed. If z is on its own, it's got a little 1 on the top. Okay, it's an invisible 1. So z to the 1 times z cubed is z to the 4. Not z to the 3, it's z to the 4. Okay, 1 add 3 is 4. Right, lovely. On to dividing then. So same thing. When we divide though, we subtract our power. So we do our numbers first. 40 divided by 8 is 5. X to the 5 divided by x. X is on its own there, so it's got a 1. So 5 take away 1 is x to the 4. Y to the 6 divided by y to the 4, subtract the 6 and the 4 is 2. And z cubed divided by z squared is z to the 1. We wouldn't write z to the 1, we would just write z on its own. So it's 5, x to the 4, y squared, z. Okay, we go again. Dividing our numbers, 18 divided by 3 is 6. Don't forget, this line means divide. So if it's not written like this, it could be written like this. It means the same thing, divide. So divide your numbers. Subtract your powers, that's a little 1. Y to the 5 divided by y to the 4 is y to the 1, so just y. Z to the 9 divided by z squared is z to the 7. Okay? Right, now we are into brackets. When we are in brackets, we are multiplying our powers. So x cubed all to the power of 5 means x to the 15. Okay? Again, this one is in brackets. We've got x's and then we've got y's, so do them separately. So x to the 4 all to the 9 is x to the 36. 9 times 4 is 36. Y to the 6 to the power of 9 is y to the power of 54. 6 times 9, 54. Okay, this one's slightly tricky, and this is where people are going to mess up in exams. Okay, this is saying we've got to do 5x cubed squared. So the power bit's easy because you multiply your powers, so it'll be x to the power of 6. This 5 is also being squared, so we've got to do 5 squared and then x to the 6. 5 squared is 25. So it's 25 x to the 6. You don't have to write this step out, I just wrote it so that you can see how it's happening. Okay, right, number 8, we've got 3 cubes, 27, 3 times 3 times 3. X to the 4 cubes is x to 12. Y to the 1 cubes is y cubed. So it's 27, x to the 12, y cubed. Okay, another thing I just wanted to point out to you is that here we've been doing it with x's. Okay, so when we looked at this first one, we had 4x cubed. It was only the x that was being cubed. It was only the x that was being raised to the power of 9. Okay, the 4 and the 5 were just in front of it, multiplying the whole of x cubed by 4. Okay, here we haven't got any x's. 7 is being cubed. 7 is being raised to the power of 5. 7 is being raised to the power of 9. Okay, there is no x's. If it was 7x cubed, it's just the x that's being cubed, not the 7. Whereas here, it is the number 7. So here, when you times, we add our powers. This base number stays as 7. So that is 7. And then we've got to do 3 plus 5 plus 9, which is 17. 7 to the power of 17. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. Same here, there's no x's, so it's the 2 that's being cubed, the 2 that's being raised to the power of 5, and the 2 that's being raised to the power of minus 6. So when we times, we add our powers, so 3 plus 5 is 8, plus minus 6 is 2, so it's 2 squared. Okay, now they might ask you to leave it as a power of, for example, on the first one, 7, or they might ask you to just work out. So on this one, here we've done it with indices and we've worked out that it's that, but then you ought to give what that value is. So 2 squared obviously is 4. That should be your answer. Okay? Obviously, you're not going to be expected to work out 7 to the power of 17 because that is something hugely ridiculous, probably that doesn't even appear on the calculator. Yeah, something massive like that. Okay? So, that's that, okay? And we go for the last one, which combines all the powers we've done. So 3 to the 6 times 3 to the 9 is 3 to the 15, because 6 times 9 is 15. On the bottom, this is unlike this one. You don't have to do, here we had to do 3 to the power of 3, because the power inside wasn't referring to the 3, it was referring to the x or the y, okay? Whereas here, the 3 is already being raised to the power of 5, so this is just going to be 3 to the power of 5 times 2 is 10. Okay, this line means divide. When we divide, we subtract our powers, so it's 3 to the power of 5. If it says leave it as a power of 3, that is what you write down. If it says work it out, then you would work out what 3 to the power of 5 is. And let's see if we can do that. So 3 times 3 is 9, times 3 is 27, times 3 is 81, times 3 is 243. Okay? Be careful, does it say leave as a power or does it say work out or evaluate? Okay?